Back home at the Redwood Bowl for College of the Redwoods, Corsairs as they host Monterey Peninsula College. Corsairs coming in at 0-4. The visiting team at 4-0, joined by, as always, Liam Warner. I am Mitchell Manji, and Liam, first fall college football Saturday. It just feels right being at home in the Redwood Bowl for that. But Redwoods, the season is definitely not as hoped. Hasn't turned out, and some issues to address. But this is another challenging team. We knew this going up to the national division, but let's first talk about Sequoias. The first half, it did get a little bit competitive there. That was pulled within a touchdown at one point. Give me your assessment from how this team played on the road down in Visalia a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, you'll hear in my interview with Coach White coming up later, the team just didn't get off the bus. I mean, it was an 8-hour drive down there, got there late Friday night, and then 11 a.m. kickoff, the earliest kickoff I think we've had in several years. So that's what he said. The guys just didn't get off the bus, and yeah, like you said, it did get competitive. Devin Forehand, who was the third string quarterback at the start of the season, started the game. He did okay. As Coach White will say, the protection was an issue. He was under duress a lot of the game. Got a touchdown pass to Deron Dodd, and then a pick six by Cameron Ragu in the second quarter, got to within a touchdown, and then late in the second quarter, a couple of touchdowns from Sequoias, and then it was pretty much it from there. The defense did a good job on the second half holding Sequoias to one touchdown, but the issue was Redwoods only scored one touchdown of their own, and so with that big first half deficit, it was just not enough to come back. So it was another good Sequoias team. There were a lot of penalties in the second half that were an issue. There were quite a few big plays that were called back due to penalties, but we've definitely seen that before. A few turnovers, of course. Pick six from Quentin Buckland on the flea flicker. So, yeah, just another tough game. I mean, you're going to see these teams week in and week out. And Monterey, of course, this Redwoods team is very familiar with. They played them 4 times in the last 3 years, including the bowl game a few years ago. So, but of course, junior college football, the players are almost entirely different. I think there are a few new coaches, as White's going to mention later on. So, another tough game.
Absolutely. We talked about a little bit about the offense, but let's, kind of pivot to the defense. Defense allowed just 19. Let's see. I got to get my math brain on. 29 points they allowed in games 1 and 2 combined. 95 points allowed the last 2 games. That defense that has been a stalwart for Coach White and DeMero Wheeler, the defensive coordinator, hasn't really helped out the offense. The offense has flipped the script. They had 16 points in the first 2 games, and then putting up 49 the last 2. But obviously, if you're allowing 95, it's going to be tough to win regardless.
Yeah. The offense looked good at points. I mean, DVC, there were times where Quentin Buckland looked good, and then, he threw a few picks. And, of course, Devin Forehand came in to start last week. Devin Forehand will be the starting quarterback again today, Coach White, saying that they made a lot of investment in this guy and that they're going to continue to roll with him today. So, we'll see how that goes.
And that's been obviously a point of contention is the quarterback position and how much of we've talked about the line, we've talked about the protection, the lack of a run game as well, just struggling to get the ball going on the ground. Just 2 games where they barely even eclipsed 100 yards rushing as a team. The other 2 games under 100 total yards rushing. So you're putting a lot of emphasis on the quarterback position, a lot of responsibility, which obviously that's going to be the position where inherently you do have the most responsibility, though, and it's going to fall on your shoulders, win or lose at that position. However, the quarterbacks aren't really getting a ton of support, and the receivers out there they're doing an okay job. But again, it comes down to the line, right? Games are won and lost in the trenches, and the offensive line, as Coach White has talked about, it hasn't performed to Redwood standards as of late, and I think that's been a contributing factor as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you'll hear Coach White in his interview. He talked about, in the past, we've been very spoiled at the running back position. We had Levi Cox-Cooley and Emmanuel Bonagwim a couple years ago. We had Zay Hemmings last year. But White mentioned, I mean, the catalyst behind the running game the past few years has been that veteran offensive line that he had. And this season, it's a mostly new offensive line that they're still trying to get some chemistry going. And it's nobody in the backfield has really stepped up and been that guy. yet so far this season, and it makes the job of the quarterback a lot more tough. When defenses can just key in on the passing game and just go after the quarterback. So we'll just have to see. We're about halfway through the season. We're halfway through the season after this game, and then we have a bye week, and they'll have plenty of time to figure it out. But the next task is trying to beat this Monterey team that they've seen a lot the past few years.
And that's something with the move to the National Division, stepping up those games that are winnable, you have to be able to convert and you have to win those games. Look back, Sacramento City, that's a clear game that should have been flipped to a win. You lose by 3 at home against a team that you matched up well with. And so those opportunities feel so much heavier when you're 0 for 4 and 0 and 4. You look at the Foothill game. This is a Monterey team that went neck and neck. They beat them by a field goal in overtime in week 1. The Redwoods only lost by 10 at Foothill. Again, a late start on a kickoff down there, so some scheduling adjustments on the road. It has not been as simple as it's been in years past. You look at the Foothill game at Sequoias, both 2 tough road games, environments to travel into logistically, with an early kick, as you mentioned, Liam, at Sequoias, and then a late kick against Foothill. But then you face a talented DVC team at home who just flat out was the better team. They had the horses. So you look back at those opportunities that are missed. That Sac City game is of the utmost importance. Foothill was another winnable game, and so you've got to capitalize on the opportunities. They've got another one here at home to put a number in the win column. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back on the other side, it'll be Liam Warner's exclusive interview with head coach Jason White. A reminder for those of you watching on the YouTube live stream, make sure you head on over to KATA1340.com to catch the interview. That will be aired exclusively on the radio and online at KATA1340.com. Again, we'll take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, Liam Warner with Jason White. You're listening to Redwoods Football on ESPN 107.3 FM. just about set for kickoff here at the Redwood Bowl. College of the Redwoods has won the toss, and they have elected to defer their option to the second half. It will be Monterey Peninsula with the ball first. Hendrick Lusk Jr. and Stephen Richardson deep to receive. Brandon Saylor to kick it away for Redwoods. End over end, short kick fielded at the 15, tripping and falling, but keeping his balance, breaking a tackle and cutting to the right is Richardson. Richardson looking for a lane, breaking a couple ankle tackles, falls down across the 30 down near the 35-yard line. That's where Monterey Peninsula offense will take the field first, and we get a chance to see how this Redwoods team can react after giving up 95 combined points the last two games. Obviously, would feel a lot better to get a win today going into the bye.
Yeah, it really would. I mean, you don't want to have to think about a loss for 2 weeks, so good to get this one today.
It's really a monkey off your back kind of mentality, Liam. You just got to get one, right? Get the first one, get the goose egg off of the stat sheet, and everything else will feel a lot better. So offense is going to be led out by Emmanuel Simon Lopez. So we got a stoppage for the officials are going to adjust the spot of the ball. They spotted it in the middle of the field, but he's tackled on the far side, so they're going to move the ball over to the far hash. Monterey Peninsula wearing, we'll call it maroon helmets, white jerseys, gray pants. The home team in all black. Left to Redwood's defense on the left. As Monterey Peninsula brings the man in motion. Lopez dropping back to pass, looking over the middle field, taking a deep shot, bobbled and caught. Unbelievable. He lost possession at the end as he went to the ground. The officials are going to say that that was a catch. But he batted it up with his right hand, again, and was able to, according to the referee, secure it with two hands. And we don't have the privilege of having instant replay, so Monterey Peninsula quickly on the ball at the Redwoods 18. They're going to throw a bubble screen out to the right, good blocking. And maybe 4 yards. There's a penalty marker down as that screen went to Mark Harris.
Well, as you heard Coach White say in the interview, this Monterey Peninsula team likes to go deep, and saw that there right away.
I think this penalty is going to go against the offense.
Holding offense number 0. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
So there is a holding call against MPC. So Lobos will be behind the sticks. First down and 20. Line to gains the 8-yard line. Two receivers left, two right. Lopez takes the snap, a handoff inside. 3 or 4 yards for the ball carrier. It was David Roberts on the carry. Roberts will sub out, and empty formation, 3 receivers left for Lopez. Lopez takes the snap. 4 rushers for Redwoods. They got pressure, forcing him to scramble, dropping back, rolling out to his right, eyes downfield, and he gets driven down on the far side. That'll be a sack on the play. Third down. So after giving up an explosive play on the first snap from scrimmage, Redwood's defense is held strong here as just got into the edge of the red zone. The holding call backed him up. And now a loss on the sack brings up third down and 19. 2 receivers to each side. Linebackers walk up, 1 backs off now for Redwoods. They rush 3, throwing a screen underneath, whistles blowing the play dead. I think we had movement before the snap. So false start on goes against Tatum Bentley, sophomore from Cedar Park, Texas. Brings up third down and forever. Ball spotted at the the Redwoods 33. Line to gain is the 8. See if Redwoods brings any pressure. They rush 3. Lopez dropping back to pass. Pressure coming, stepping up, trying to escape. He's tripped up and eventually brought down. Tackle made on the play by Christian Solomona. Standout middle linebacker is the one who finally brought him to the turf. And after a huge play, Monterey Peninsula goes backwards and is going to have to punt from the Redwoods 41. We got about 45, 47 yards on that pass completion and then went backwards from there. Punt is away, an end-over-end kick towards the sideline, and that's going to go out of bounds inside the 10. So not the best starting field position. However, Redwoods keeps the Lobos off the board on their first offensive possession, and now we'll get a chance to see Devin Forehand, his first start at home here at the Redwood Bowl. And right now you're looking for first downs. Liam, you're not really trying to go for the touchdown. You don't want to go for broke. This is not all or nothing. It's the first quarter. Defense got to stop. You just want to continue to move the chains. High snap handled by Forehand. It's a run over the right side for Ohlenberger. And he falls forward. Gain of about 3 on the carry. Bring up second down and 7.
Well, as you know, Mitchell, the big issue this season for the Redwoods offense has been their starting field position.
Absolutely.
Pretty rarely have started past their own 25-yard line.
And the way the defense played, I mean, you could have set yourself up. However, that big pitch and catch ends up setting them back, starting inside their own 10. Forehand dropping back to pass. Pass is completed across the middle. That's Alex Meadows on a slant route. Good enough for Redwood's first down. You could throw the records out at this point. I mean, MPC comes in at 4-0, Redwoods 0-4. However, as you mentioned in the pregame, Liam, 4 times in the last 3 years these two teams have faced off. They know each other. Obviously some changes on the Lobos side. However, it's still a team that you battle back and forth with, and they've showed they can compete with this MPC team. Again, another team moving up to the National Division this year, and they have impressed. Forehand, empty formation, blitz coming off the side, scrambles, steps up in the pocket, and is able to evade a sack and turn that into a gain of 4 on the ground. So a nice job by Forehand as a free rusher was coming off the left side. Brings up second down and 6. Jack Dascom comes in at tight end. Redwood's working left to right as we see it. Forehand's going to make an adjustment at the line, check over to the sideline. Moves Ohlenberger the back behind him, now in the pistol. BC brings 5 again. Ohlenberger rushing over the right side. He's got a block from Meadows at the receiver and falls forward, a gain of 10 or 11 on the ground. Good blocking from the wide receiver position allowed Ohlenberger to turn that vertical. There's 2 first downs, Liam. That's exactly what you're looking for. Now, if you do end up stalling out a drive here, you're at least not giving Monterey Peninsula the ball back around midfield. You have the opportunity to flip the field. However, first down, you want to keep the momentum going. Obviously, we're not trying to get anybody to punt here, but that's the logic behind it.
Yeah, you want to get out of the shadow of your own end zone. That's 100%. The goal.
Exactly. Empty formation. Bring a man in motion, play action. Dropping back to pass, Forehand. Steps up, good clean pocket pass is completed. And Deron Dodd made the reception at the opposing 45 and then went laterally trying to make a play. Ended up losing a couple after the catch. However, it is a gain of 13 and a fresh set of downs yet again. So offense looking efficient here early. They have 3 first downs on their first possession.
Yeah, and Deron Dodd was really fantastic last week. 87 yards receiving, had a touchdown, had another touchdown that was called back, but he was one of the lone bright spots of the game last week for sure.
CR in plus territory at the MPC 47. Just under 9 minutes to go, first quarter, no score. Handoff to Ohlenberger, trying to cut it back, and Ohlenberger tripped up at the 40, but a gain of 7 on first down. Too many times have we seen it, Liam, where if you go first down, you either get stuffed on a run or an incomplete pass. You're looking at second down and long. They've kept the second downs manageable and continue to move the ball forward.
Love what I'm seeing from the running game so far.
Two tight ends, Cortez Fields and Jack Dascom in the game. Meadows and Dodd, the receivers, split out left. Ohlenberger's the back as he shifts to the left of forehand. They're going to run it with Ohlenberger over the left side, and he gets nothing on the carry. Both guards pulling out in front of him, and defense jumped it. Stymied will bring up third down and 3. The other thing, Liam, about keeping the ball in the ground is you keep the clock running. We're already approaching halfway through the first quarter, and each team is only on their first possession. And so limiting the number of possessions keeps your defense on the sideline, hopefully able to keep them fresh as the 3 and outs really start to add up in terms of wear and tear on the defense throughout the game. High snap over the hand of forehand, and he's going to try to pick it up, just fall on it. There he does. No sense in trying to be a hero, just hold on to the football. Forehand ends up falling on it at his own 47. And just like that, the drive stalls near midfield on a botched snap.
Well, it's been one of the issues with the offense. I mean, they can get the ball down the field, but then it's mistakes and penalties and turnovers that eventually stall out their drive.
Hendrick Lust Jr. standing at his own 11, awaiting the punt from Cole Newton. Good snap. Kick is up. It's a bit of a wobbler. Short punt. Going to take a Redwoods bounce at the 25. Continue rolling all the way inside the 10. And is going to come to rest at the 8. So there you go, Liam. That's what we talked about. You get a couple first downs. At least now when you're punting, you're putting Monterey Peninsula inside their own 10 to start. A good punt from Newton. Didn't look great at the start, but able to wobble its way on down inside the 10. And so Monterey Peninsula will take over at their own 8. No score, 6:47 to go here in the first quarter. Defense back on the field for the second time. Snap to Lopez, handoff, running left, and a gain of about 5 on the ground for David Roberts, the back. Bring up second down and 5. Three receivers, a tight end, and a back. See if the Redwoods brings pressure. They do, and Roberts escapes 2 tacklers in the backfield. Tied up after a gain of 2 is going to bring up third down. See, our defense had a shot at a tackle for loss there, but Roberts able to evade a couple of tackles, brings up third and 3. Clock ticks under 6 minutes to go here, first quarter. No score, Redwoods and Monterey Peninsula College. Lopez heels at his own 10. Couple backers locked up. Handoff to the right side. Roberts trying to turn the corner. Nothing there. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. CR is going to force a 3 and out. And a second punt of the game for the Lobos.
Yeah, defense doing exactly what you're asking of them early on in this game.
And it looks like they're going to go for it from their own 16. They are. 4th down and 2. Offense stays on the field. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Lopez in the shotgun. Roberts, the running back. CR rushes 7. Quick receiver screen to the far side. Just enough for the first down. It was Julius Robinson, the receiver. Redwoods was protecting against the run. They rushed 7. And the quick hitter to the outside moves the chain. So MPC elects not to punt. Dropping back to pass, throw over, caught on the right side. Mark Harris picks up 6 on the completion, tackled out of bounds. Clock stops, 4:46 to go, first quarter. Again, no score. Lobos and Corsairs here from the Redwood Bowl alongside Liam Warner, Mitchell Manji here on ESPN 107.3 FM. As officially it'll be second down and 5. Empty formation, Lopez now motions Ashton Murphy into the backfield. Takes a snap, play action, pressure coming, dropping back to pass, and he escapes the first tackler. Still on his feet, rolling out to the left, eyes downfield, throws it, and it's completed at the 50. An unbelievable play by Lopez. He had Eli Freehoff, had him dead to rights, and spun out of it somehow, kept his eyes downfield, and the completion puts MPC in plus territory at the Redwoods 49. Those are the plays you got to have.
Yeah, you got to finish those.
Ball spotted left hash. It's going to be a quarterback keeper on the read option, running left, all green grass, up the sideline, 25-20, before forcing out of bounds. Victory Achalike with the stop defensively. Victory Oricano. I don't know why it says that on the roster here. Victory Oricano makes its credit with the tackle, forcing Lopez out of bounds, but Monterey back at the edge of the red zone. Lopez takes the snap, drops back to pass. Completed underneath on a drag route. Tackle made, but 11 yards on the pitch and catch to Guillory, the receiver coming across the field.
Just inside the 10-yard line where it'll be first and goal for the Lobos.
First down and goal. Under 3 minutes to go, first quarter. Going to be a handoff inside to Roberts. Tackle's made inside the 5. He falls forward to about the 4. Bring up second down and goal. Roberts the back to Lopez's right. Murphy the back to his left, and it's going to be a keeper for Lopez, turning the corner and walks in for 6. First score of the game belongs to the Lobos. They lead it 6-0.
Quarterback keeper and able to work his way outside to the goal line and a touchdown for Monterey.
Well, they got a stop on the first drive. The second drive, Lobos are able to convert when they reach the red zone, and now it will be Joseph Fernandez on to try the point after. Good snap, kick is up. Plenty of leg, and it's good. 2:25 to go, first quarter. Lobos strike first, lead it 7-0. You're listening to Redwoods football on ESPN 107.3 FM. Monterey Peninsula College. Something's not right here. The scoreboard should say 7-0. The referee's taking a look over. Point after try was made. 2:25 to go, first quarter. Alongside Liam Warner, I am Mitchell Manji. Redwoods football on ESPN. brought to you by North Fork Lumber Company and Game On. Also brought to you in part by Harper Motors, your local Moman, and J&G Lawn and Garden. Thank you as always to the sponsors who keep us on the air every Saturday, except next Saturday. We've got a bye. Monterey Peninsula to kick it away. And fielded at the 13. Making a man miss and falling forward across the 31 is Isaac Johnson. We'll see the Redwoods offense again. They put a good start to the drive together, but a high snap over the head on 3rd and 3 stalled the drive and forced him to punt. We do have a penalty marker down on the far side of the field from the kickoff. Block in the back is the call. It goes against wide receiver Alex Meadows. So Redwoods will start from their own 22-yard line. Ball spotted at the right hash. They've got 3 receivers left. Meadows, the lone man right. Forehand takes the snap. Quick receiver screen on the far side. Looking for Deron Dodd. Dodd has a first down and more. Breaking some tackles. Dodd stays on his feet and brought down. He lost the football and recovered by the Lobos. Not the start you wanted.
Nope.
Or needed.
And like I've been saying, I mean, this offense will make good plays and then just turn around and, turn the football over or commit a penalty and
give it right back.
Yeah. It's just frustrating because you see flashes of what they can do for sure.
Well, the idea is to get the ball to your playmakers and put them in space. They did that. Dodd made some really good plays. A couple of guys missed, but lost the football on the way down to the turf. Lopez in the Lobos offense back out plus territory. Ball spotted at the Redwoods 48-yard line. Lopez dropping back to pass. Good protection. Rolling out to his right. Eyes downfield. Looking for a play. He throws it across the field, but incomplete. And a flag comes in. That's going to go against Redwoods for celebrating after the play. Flag came in from the side judge, and either going to be a late hit on sportsmanlike conduct, some sort of penalty of the 15-yard variety against the defense.
Yeah, I think you're right. My guess it's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul of some kind.
Sportsmanlike conduct goes against Marvis Christian. 15 free yards for the Lobos. Now at the Redwoods 33. Handoff goes to Worth, the running back, a freshman from Monterey. Picks up about 3 over the right side, down to the 30. Clock winds to $1:40 to go, first quarter. Lobos on top, 7-0. Second down and 7. So we're starting to get some cloud cover here. Was a gorgeous day. Sun was shining. No rain is on the radar for the North Coast. So the Lobos continue their drive. Murphy the back. Play action. Lopez. Pressure coming. Steps up in the pocket. Completes the pass across the 20. To Mark Harris, who's brought down at the 11. So with a minute to go in the first quarter, Lobos up by 7, knocking on the door. It'll be first down and 10 from the 11. Murphy remains the back. Lopez drops back to pass, throws a fade route on the right side, in and out of the hands of Julius Robinson, his intended target.
On the outstretched arms, falls incomplete. Second down.
Dominic Connat in coverage defensively for Redwoods. Clock stops with 42 seconds. Bring up second down and 10. Lopez gets the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Roberts, you could drive a semi-truck through that hole. Powers in for the score.
Goal line barrier for the Lobos touchdown.
13-0. Monterey Peninsula with 36 seconds to go, first quarter. As Fernandez is on to try and make it 14. A little bit of a breeze into Fernandez's face, but he showed he's got plenty of leg. Kick is up, and he drilled it again. 14-0. Lobos on top. You're listening to Redwoods football on ESPN 107.3 FM. $14-0. Lobos on top as the scoreboard has gone dark here. We had some issues with it after the first. Let's just start it over at 0-0. How about that one?
That's right.
Rewind and go back to the first quarter.
Redwoods would be okay with no scoreboard right now. Oh, it's back.
Back on, and that'll give us a chance to update you. 36 seconds to go, first quarter. 14-0. Lobos on top. Jason White, pregame. You know, he's got that bellowing voice when he lets it go, so you can hear it echoing all the way up. But he said to his guys before the game, no matter what, keep your heads up. And that's what you have to do trailing early here. Game is by no means over at all. You got to continue to fight and scrap if you're the CR team, as Fernandez's kick is away. Connat catches it over his shoulder at the 1, and it's going to return it. Dominic Connat looking for a lane at the 25, brought down at the 30. Flag flies in at the end of the play.
We had some guys locked up on the other side of the field. That's what the flag is going to be for.
Officials are going to confer at the far side, 30-yard line. Yeah, I didn't see exactly what had happened. He said there's.
It was in the corner of my eye. I could see two guys locked up with each other, way, way off the ball.
Personal foul. Return team number 0. Personal foul. Kicking team number 23. Those penalties go offset. First down.
Yeah, it just looked like one of those situations. Two guys locked up well off the ball, and both guys took it a little too far. So both guys are going to get the flag.
So personal fouls against either team offsetting. Redwoods will indeed start at their own 30. 30 seconds to go, quarter number 1. Forehand takes the snap. It's a handoff and hit in the backfield, but falling forward is Alec Pierce. So a heavy dose of Ohlenberger on the first drive. Pierce is the back here as the clock will wind down to the end of the first quarter. Lobos have put 2 in the end zone so far. CR looking for points as we have reached the end of the first quarter. Lobos on top of Redwoods, 14-0. You're listening to CR Football on ESPN 107.3 FM. Start of the second quarter, Lobos on top of the Corsairs, 14-0. Redwoods with the football. Second down and 9 from their own 31-yard line. Snap to forehand, play action. Forehand looking down the field. He's going to take a shot left side. And Dodd misread that ball. He kind of pulled up at the 45, and then it ended up being just a step over his head. If he keeps running, that's probably in the breadbasket and a chance for 6. Just not on the same page, and that's kind of the nature of put a guy like Forehand in who has been taking, as you mentioned, Liam, the third string reps. Got to get some chemistry with your receivers. So an incomplete pass on second down brings up 3rd and 9. Empty formation. 2 receivers right, 3 left. Hard count, free play as they've got an offsides, and they're going to blow this dead. All right. Forehand jumping up and down, wanted the free play. But 5 yards will make it 3rd and manageable. Yeah, a couple referees started walking Redwoods back on that, and good thing they were able to get it corrected. 3rd down and 4. Will be the call again. 14:50 to go, second quarter. Monterey Peninsula on top of Redwoods, 14-0. Two receivers out. They bring Dascom and Pierce, a running back and tight end, in. Still in the huddle. Play clock at approaching 10. Got to go. Bring a man in motion across the formation. It's a read. Forehand's going to keep it up the middle of the field. Gave it on the option. He sold the read. Had me fooled. As he gave it to Saul Reyes, the motion man. Gets it out near the 50. It's a really good sell on the run game.
Yeah, had me fooled as well.
Forehand even trucked a defender out at the 48. I thought he was about to break free, but he didn't even have the ball. So good play call on 3rd down, moves the chains. Ball at the left hash, 44-yard line. CR now working right to left. Forehand takes the snap, play action, dropping back to pass, complete to Dascom at the 50. Dascom trying to get upfield, falls forward. He's got the first down and lunge for an extra couple of yards. Give him credit for 12 on the reception. CR moves the chains again.
Good for another 15 yards on a play. Brings Redwoods down to the Lewis 44-yard line, 1st and 10.
So that's the 5th first down for Redwoods. They've been moving the ball well, just haven't been able to get points in the end zone, continue to hurt themselves. Forehand takes a snap. There's a free play offsides. Forehand knows it. He's going to take a deep shot down the field on the right side. Jump ball is in and out of the hands of Meadows. But the hard count, second time this drive, they've gotten the Lobos offside. That time the referees let it go. Forehand wisely taking a shot, going for gusto.
Offside. Defense. Number 33. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So 5-yard penalty will make it 1st down and 5. We'll say this, Liam. Devin Forehand is impressed with his IQ so far in terms of recognizing the offside calls, when to take a shot, scrambling, selling on the run fakes. Been doing a good job commanding the offense here early. However, no points to show for it yet. Pierce remains in as the back. They'll give it to him, running up the middle on 1st and 5. He gets 3 or 4 yards. It'll be 3 as the line judge comes in from the far side. But remember, that was 1st and 5, so that brings up 2nd down and 2. Dascom into the game along with Quentin Buckland. Buckland, who started the season as the starter at quarterback, has now been converted to receiver. You got to remember, they could use him in some trick play scenarios. He's got a cannon for an arm.
Well, they did last week. It didn't work out so well, but could definitely again.
Snap, and there it is. They're running the Philly special. Down the right side, looking for forehand, completed. Touchdown, Corsairs. Fly sweep left. Flip it back to Buckland right. Forehand down the right side for 6, and CR's on the board.
That's huge. I mean, that's huge for Quentin Buckland's confidence. As I mentioned, 3 picks against Diablo Valley, and then on a flea flicker last week, he threw a pick 6. So that's really huge for him and this team.
That's the perfect time to break that out. You've got just a couple of yards to gain. Not a high-risk scenario. And they had Buckland in a couple of plays before at receiver when they win empty formation. As low snap, getting it up. Saylor with the point after, right down the middle. So Redwoods cuts the lead in half. You can start to feel a little bit of juice on the sideline. Let's see if the defense can hold the Lobos offense. 14-7, Lobos on top. You're listening to Redwoods Football, ESPN 107.3 FM. Redwoods gets on the board. They run the old Philly special from 40-plus yards out. Quentin Buckland to Devin forehand, and it's 14-7 as Saylor. Short kick is going to be handled at the 10 by Richardson. Richardson trying to cut it across the field, tied up and brought down just across the 20. Michael Lean. Eureka Product makes the tackle. And we'll see if the Redwoods defense, and it looks like Saylor coming off a little, the kicker coming off a little gimpy maybe. Yeah, he's holding the inside of his leg, so something to keep an eye on.
Well, that wouldn't be good. I mean, the kicking situation has been one of the strengths of this Redwoods team so far.
So defense back out on the field. Walking up, showing pressure. They rush 5. Handoff. And tackle made after a gain of 3. That was Kyler Smith, former St. Bernard's Crusader, making the stop. Gain of 3 on the carry. It's exactly what Coach White talked about. Don't hang your head. You get down 14-0. Yes, you've struggled. You're 0-4 at that point, but that does not mean the game's over. And you got to continue to battle. And if Redwood's defense can hold here, give the offense a chance to keep the momentum up. Lopez takes the snap, dropping back to pass. Quick throw over to the left side. And about 8 yards on the catch. That was number 92, Jesus Maciel, the tight end on the reception to move the chains. So ball out to the Lobos' own 37-yard line. Ball spotted at the left hash. 11.5 minutes to go, second quarter, 14-7. Monterey Peninsula leads College of the Redwoods. Lopez the snap, another quick throw on the far side to Julius Robinson. Quick hitter picks up about 6. Bring up second down, and we'll call it 2nd and 5. Two receivers left, 2 right. Lopez the snap, the give inside to Richardson. Richardson first down and more into Redwoods territory, down to the 45-yard line. Lobos continue to move the chains. An effective rushing game, quick hitting, screen game has been their calling card early. Outside the one deep pass, most of the stuff has been short. Trips bunch left. Lopez pumps, looking downfield. Pressure coming, checks it down. Incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Roberts. Helped with the blocking and then peeled off to the side, and design play was covered well on the far side. They were looking for a little double move on the visitor's sideline, but good coverage from Redwoods, and the pressure forced Lopez to peel out of the pocket. 2nd and 10 from the CR 45. Lopez takes the snap, keeps it on the read option, running across the 40, first down yardage as he lunges down to the 34. Lopez has showed he's got it with his legs as well. It's the second time he's kept it on the read option. Monterey Peninsula trying to go hurry up back on the ball. Handoff again, Roberts. Not much room on the right side. Tackle made by Solomona. I believe that's Henry Westfall, if I'm not mistaken, who's wearing that 94 jersey. So 2nd down and 9. We're under 10 to go, second quarter. Redwoods trailing 14-7. As the Lobos driving, and with the play clock at single digits and confusion, Lobos take their first timeout of the half. We'll take one with them back at 30 seconds here on ESPN 107.3 FM. Second down and 9 coming out of the timeout for MPC. Ball spotted at the Redwoods 33-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 right for the Lobos. 3 down linemen, as is the new base set this year for Redwoods. They're going to bring a speed sweep across and give it to Mark Harris. Harris trying to turn the corner. A couple of Redwoods players punching at the football, but he was able to hold on. Daquan Dunn in on the play. The Arcata High product. So a couple local kids making some plays. You had Eureka High, St. Bernard's, and now Arcata.
That's right. I watched Daquan win the state championship in Fullerton last December. That was a fun experience.
So here's 3rd down and 1. And the give up the middle goes to Worth. Needed 1, got 6 or 7, maybe even 8 yards, depending on where they spot this. It'll be a first down in the red zone at the 18-yard line. There's a tight trips bunch left for the Lobos. Keep an eye. They looked for, trying to look that way. That's the short side of the field. Snap to Lopez. Goes the opposite direction, one-on-one. He's got Poe, and Kadarius Poe across the 10, dragged down near the first down marker. I believe he's going to be just short. So gain of 9 on the catch. 2nd and short. Running back is Ashton Murphy to the right of Lopez. Linebackers walked up for Redwoods. They bring 5. Quick throw, far side is completed, but tackle made just about instantaneously by Michael Brownlee. First down yardage to the 5. He's going to give the Lobos a fresh set of downs. It'll be 1st and goal. And with the substitution, bring Westfall off and Saraceno in. See, our defense going to try and hold. Backs up against their own end zone. 2 tight ends, 1 running back for the Lobos. They bring a receiver in motion. Play action, rolling out, looking, throwing towards the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. Julius Robinson for 6 for the Lobos. And they push the lead back to double digits. So 7:13 to go, 2nd quarter. It's now 20-7. Fernandez on for the PAT. Lobos have answered the trick play score by Redwoods with 7 of their own. They bounced the snap in, and Fernandez is going to fall it. So 6, actually, not 7, as the PAT is no good. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Lobos on top 20-7. You're listening to Redwoods Football, ESPN 107.3 FM. Twenty to 7 your score from the Redwood Bowl, again alongside Liam Warner. My name is Mitchell Monge, Redwoods Football on ESPN 107.3 FM all season long. I'd like to thank North Fork Lumber Company and Game On for sponsoring Redwoods Football here on ESPN. Fernandez set to kick it away after the score. Again, the PAT was no good, 20-7. Ball's fielded by Johnson at his own 3. Isaac Johnson evades a couple of defenders for is ultimately brought down right at the 30-yard line. See our offense headed back out. It was Quentin Buckland from 40-plus to Devin Forehand, a little receiver to quarterback action, or quarterback to quarterback, depending on how you look at it. Buckland is out there on the field to start this drive. 7:05 to go, 2nd quarter. It's going to be a handoff left side. Ohlenberger looking for room. There's nothing there. Tackle made on the play by Damian Neveau. So 2nd down and 10. Ball now spotted left hash. Two receivers and a tight end right. Now they're going to bring Meadows into a tight bunch. Dodd, the lone receiver left. Forehand back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket. Eyes downfield. Pass is completed across the 45. Reception made by Anthony Justice. Justice Anthony, excuse me. Got to keep looking at, stop looking at this old roster. It's got a couple mistakes that are making me look bad. First down and 10 for Redwoods from their own 48. Play action. Forehand. Rolling out to his right. Throws it away across his body. Looking for Meadows. He's got him at the 15. Touchdown, Corsairs. Devin forehand. Way down the field to Alex Meadows. 52 yards for 6. And CR, don't count them out. They strike back quickly, and the lead is back to single digits. Saylor is in on to try the point after. So I'm walking gingerly coming off after the last kickoff. And it's a botch snap on the other side and just falling on it. So back-to-back failed PATs. And it remains a 7-point game. 5:44 to go, second quarter. Redwoods showing that quick strike ability on offense. They trail 20-13 here on ESPN 107.3 FM. Well, we've talked about the arm strength of Quentin Buckland. How about Devin forehand unleashing one across his body? The backside post route was wide open, and he found it. I thought he had Buckland on the same side of the field as him, but electing to go for it all is great kick coverage. Wrapped up, 3 black jerseys. Meet Lusk at the 15-yard line, and great coverage on special teams is going to start the Lobos deep at their own territory. 5:38 to go, second quarter. And it was the Lobos who jumped out to an early 14-0 lead. A little Philly special on the return. Buckland to the quarterback, Devin forehand, for 40-plus yards. Got Redwoods on the board first. He gave up a touchdown on the next drive, but just answered back with a 52-yard bomb to Alex Meadows. And that's where we stand now, 20-13 the score. Play action, Lopez. Pressure coming, wrapped up, and dropped in the backfield. Jaden Tiabo making the sack. And pinned deeper back at their own 7. Lobos backed up against their own goal line. This Redwoods defense is looking good here early on and continuing to make plays. 5 minutes to go, second quarter. It'll be second down and 18. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Lopez gets the snap, drops back. It's a receiver screen. Redwoods is all over it. They dropped him for a loss, trying to get the tunnel back to the middle of the field. And a huge play, back-to-back. Big stops defensively. Bringing up third down and forever. Line to gain's going to be the 25-yard line. Ball is spotted at the Lobos' own 5. Big opportunities here. You don't want to allow anything short either. Try to force Monterey Peninsula to punt from their own end zone if you can, or even better yet, get a stop or a turnover. Lopez, the snap, dropping back to pass. Pressure coming, looks down the field, intercepted! Going the other way! 10, 5, touchdown Corsairs! Victory Arcata for 6, and Redwoods is 1 point away from a tie game.
Unbelievable.
Got a flag down at the 22. And it's a sideline warning against Redwoods. Touchdown stands.
And I feel like about half of our interceptions have been pick sixes so far this season. Unbelievable.
Well, defense has known how to put some points on the board. We've seen it before. They answer the bell here today with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. It's a 1 point game with Sailor on to try and tie it up. You just love it when the defense answers the bell like that. You're pinned up against your own end zone. Just like we said, you're looking for a stop better yet, a turnover. How about a pick six?
It's one way to inject some energy into that sideline.
Good snap, hold, kick is up, and we are tied. 20-20, 4 minutes to go. Second quarter, you're listening to Redwoods football on ESPN 107.3 FM. Liam, let's just call it how it is. Redwoods came out and got punched in the mouth in the first quarter. They were down 14-0. They have punched right back. We have a tie game here in the second quarter, 20-20. As Victory Oricanu puts 6 on the board for the defense. We've got a good one here at the Redwood Bowl. First Saturday of fall, nothing better. Sailor's kick is away, and it's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. A fair catch is made. And defense for Redwoods right back out onto the field with a ton of momentum. The only downside really there is your defense doesn't get much of a break. Couple of big plays, a sack, and then stopping that tunnel screen on second down, an interception returned for 6 on third. Again, a Redwoods team that's accustomed to big plays from their defense. Lopez the snap. It's going to be a handoff trying to cut it back and stuffed at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the ground. That's Caleb Morgan, number 52, making the tackle. Got the Leighton Vander Esch style cowboy collar on. Just look like a middle linebacker when you're playing with that. CR sideline getting into it with the defense chant, trying to bring the crowd alive. Liam and I talked off-air pregame. It seemed a little flat. Not the case anymore. That pick six has breathed life into this Redwoods sideline. Play clock at 3. Lobo's got to go. Snap it just as the clock hits 0. Pass is completed at the 30. And tackle made right at the stick. Solomona coming in to clean it up. First man there was Deshaun Bailey. It is just enough, about a yard, for a fresh set of downs. Clock under 3 minutes. 2 timeouts for MPC, 3 for Redwoods, plus we've got the 2-minute timeout. First down and 10. 3 receivers left. Morgan's coming up the middle on a blitz. It's a handoff. Cuts just up underneath. Gain of 3 on the first down carry for the Lobos. And we've got an injured Corsair down on the field as they signal for the training staff to come on. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Here, you're listening to Redwoods Football, ESPN 107.3 FM. Sean Bailey, the injured Corsair, being helped off the field by the training staff led by Nate Keys. Walking gingerly, they were looking at his left leg, and he'll be attended to on the sideline. Second down and 7 on the field. As it's going to be a handoff, running left is Roberts. Roberts trying to turn the corner, but he's upended. Number 7, Marvis Christian, makes the tackle, gain of a few, and this will take us to the 2-minute warning. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We come back, final 2 minutes of the first half right here on ESPN 107.3 FM. (20-20) our score coming out of the 2-minute timeout. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Liam, you said it best. And CR says it every single week. It's the money down.
It's the money down, baby.
Gotta get it. Yep, you get a stop here. You have an opportunity to get your offense back out on the field with 3 timeouts. See if you can't take an advantage. A stop would be huge. A turnover, absolutely massive. 3rd down and 5. Lobos at their own 42-yard line. Morgan, the linebacker, walked up to about 3 yards. We'll see if Redwoods brings pressure. They rush 5, dropping back to pass. Lopez gets rid of it. Pass is completed just at the sticks before he's tackled out of bounds. Needed 5, got 6. Julius Robinson on the reception moves the change for the Lobos, and the clock stops as he went out of bounds.
Another thing we have to keep in mind is that Redwoods will be receiving the football to start the 3rd quarter.
Regardless, the goal is the same. Keep points off the board here.
That's right.
You want to win those the middle 8. Final 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 minutes of the second half. Getting the football is a good start, but you need to stop here. Lopez rolling out to his right. Quick throw is caught at Redwoods 45 before being wrestled down. And Kadarius Poe extended as he was tackled. He's going to be close to the line to gain. I think it's going to be a yard short. So 9 yards on the reception. Ball at the Redwoods 43-yard line. Checking in, driving around Humboldt County, Jesse with All Phase Property Maintenance. Doing a wonderful job out making people's lives better. Second down and 1, minute 45 to go, second half. Lopez slips, drops back, stays on his feet. Going to try and scramble out to the right and forced out of bounds with the first down yardage. Pushed out at the CR 38. Minute 37 to go. Lobos got 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Done a good job getting out of bounds here under 2 minutes to stop the clock. We are all tied at 20. NCR trailed 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. They have answered the bell here in the second. Defense trying to get a huge stop. First down and 10. Lopez dropping back to pass. 4 rushers. Stepping up in the pocket, gets rid of it, and it's caught. Tackle is finally made, but gain of 13 on the catch and run. Isaiah Tongaloa ended up making the tackle. He was in coverage, and the receiver looked like he just adapted after he saw Lopez scrambling, was getting vertical, and then got across the field to get some separation. Fresh set of downs at the Redwoods 26. Handoff going backwards over the right side. Solomono was there along with Tagaloa. And timeout taken by MPC. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second timeout as well. Back shortly for the remainder of the first half on ESPN 107.3 FM. So the clock stops at a minute 6 coming out of the timeout. Lobos will be behind the sticks, second down and 12. Line to gain is the Redwoods 16. Keep in mind, seems like Joseph Fernandez has got a leg on him as a kicker, so they might be within range here already. But obviously they want to get 6 if they can. Second down. Lopez drops back to pass wide open over the middle of the field. Is the receiver Guillory, and he's spun down close to first down yardage. Needed 12. I think they gave him 13. Clock winds, 55 seconds. First and 10 from the Redwoods 15. Lobos will be keeping an eye on the clock, but it's not as much of an issue. They can take this down pretty close to 0. They don't want an opportunity for Redwoods to score. Lopez back to pass. Rolling out to his left. He's going to tuck it and run and goes out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Gain of 5 or 6 on the scramble. Clock stops at 28 seconds. Tie game 20-20. Monterey Peninsula College and College of the Redwoods here at the Redwood Bowl. Second down and 4 from the 9. MPC has 1 timeout remaining. Clock will stop momentarily if they do get a first down short of the goal line. Tight trips bunch left. Play clock at 9 and still looking to the sideline. Lopez gets the snap. Slant over the right side. Pass is caught but short of the goal line. Brought down at the 2. Kadarius Poe with the reception at the 2. Clock winds. 17, 16, 15 seconds. Still looking at the sideline, and now a timeout taken with 13 seconds to go. And we'll go ahead and just keep it here for the final timeout of the first half. Liam, backs up against the wall, you got to get a stop. No more timeouts, so you'd imagine that you're going to get a pass play. We've seen Lopez be dynamic with his legs as well, maybe work in a read option. So DeMarro Wheeler is going to have a up to the challenge here, obviously, but trying to make a decision. You obviously, a mobile quarterback, you got to leave somebody off to either spy or protect against that. Do you bring pressure and force something quick? You got a lot of options here defensively, but the name of the game is keep points off the scoreboard, or at least limit them if you can to a field goal attempt.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this has been the best football game that we have had so far this season, Mitchell. It's been great. I love the way that CR has responded, after going down, as we mentioned. I mean, the vibes pregame, they seemed a little bit flat.
You didn't have any music in the stadium either. That was one of the other things I realized.
That did not help. But yeah, the plays that they've made so far have been huge, and another big play hopefully to be made here.
And Deshaun Bailey, who was getting worked on earlier without his shoulder pads or helmet now. So those get set to the side. So unlikely to see him back. However, this defense does have a good amount of depth. First and goal from the 2. They have adjusted the clock back up to 16 seconds. They're going to throw a fade route on the left side. Was it caught? Yes. Touchdown Lobos with 10 seconds. You had one-on-one coverage on the outside, both left and right. They went with the fade route. Going after Marvis Christian again. Christian, he really couldn't play that any better. If he was able to get his head around, maybe could have located the football, but played the receiver well and able to come down for 6. So 26-20 with 10 seconds to go. Good snap, good hold. Kick from Fernandez is up and good. 27-20, your score. We'll take a final 30-second timeout. We come back. CR is going to get the kickoff, see if they can't do something with it before the half here on ESPN 107.3 FM. Ten seconds remaining in the first half. 27-20, Monterey Peninsula leading College of the Redwoods here at the Redwood Bowl. And probably see a squib or some sort of kick, but if you've got any sort of special return, now would be the chance to break it out. So Fernandez does indeed squib it. It's fielded at the 35-yard line. And going laterally with a lane over the left side and out of bounds at the 50. As the clock expires, that was Cameron Rigg, defensive back and up back on the formation. Looked like he had room to go, but that's why he's an up back and blocking. Not quite the top end speed that you would typically get out of a returner. Double zeros across the scoreboard. Your halftime score, Monterey Peninsula College 27, College of the Redwoods 20. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. On the other side, Liam Warner with the Redwoods halftime show on ESPN 107.3. All right, I think we're going to put a second or two back on the clock. Hold on. Hold on.
Not quite yet.
Pump the brakes. We're putting a second back on the clock. I don't know. You're down 7. You're trying to keep it tight at the 50-yard line. We're reachable now to where you could throw a jump ball, Hail Mary type scenario, or you could just take a knee and go into the half down 7. We'll see what Redwoods elects to do with 1 second remaining.
We know Forehand's got a nice arm, so
maybe break out a hook and ladder, something. We've already seen the little Philly special. They can put the wrinkles. Prevent coverage defensively for the Lobos. They've got 3 guys standing at the 15 and just 3 rushers. Empty formation, 5 receivers. Forehand, dropping back to pass. Zeros on the scoreboard. He's going to tuck it and run. Forehand's going to make a spin move. Forehand at the 30, stays on his feet. Forehand a lane at the 20, and forced out of bounds. We've got a flag coming in behind the play.
We've got a flag.
And if it is against Monterey Peninsula, you'll get a free play. I'm not sure because the MPC player was the one laying on the ground. I'm guessing we're going to have a hold against Redwoods, which will take us to the half, but
There is a run, personal foul, blindside block, offense number 71, penalties decline, half time.
all right, blindside block against Redwoods. That takes us to the half. Your score, Monterey Peninsula 27, Redwoods 20 now. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. Liam Warner on the other side with your halftime show. You're listening to Redwoods Football, ESPN 107.3 FM.
Welcome back here to the Redwood Bowl on the beautiful campus of Cal Poly Humboldt in Arcata. It is halftime. Your score, Monterey Peninsula College 27, College of the Redwoods 20. Let's take you through how we got to this point. Best game of the year so far. It started off with a Monterey quarterback rush, putting them up 7-0, and then a Jerron Dodd fumble after a catch would give Monterey the ball back. They would punch it in, making it 14-0 in favor of Monterey at the end of the first quarter. But the second quarter, again, just like last week, is where things would start to get a lot better for Redwoods. It would start with the Philly special. Quentin Buckland pass back to his quarterback, Devin Forehand. That would make it 14-7. And then after that, another passing touchdown from Monterey Peninsula, making it 20-7. The PAT was no good there. And then Devin Forehand to Alex Meadows, connecting in the end zone, making it 20-13 in favor of Monterey. The extra point was no good on the Redwoods side as well. Then Redwoods would tie it up on the pick six. A lot of pick sixes this season for the Redwoods defense. This time it was Victory Orikanu taking it to the end zone, tying it up 20-20. And then late in the second quarter, Monterey Peninsula with another passing touchdown, putting them up 27-20, and that is where it stands here at halftime. We're going to take another 2-minute break, then back with a replay of my interview with head coach Jason White. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, head over to KATA1340.com to hear that interview. Then after that, we'll have some scores from around the 3C2A and around the country. Back in 2 minutes with my interview with Coach White. You're listening to Redwoods Football, ESPN 107.3 FM. Welcome back to the Redwood Bowl here on the beautiful campus of Cal Poly Humboldt. It is halftime. Your score, Monterey Peninsula 27, Redwoods 20 here at the half. Let's take it through some scores from around the 3C2A to start it off. One of the earlier kickoffs today, so we don't have a ton of scores around Northern California. But the first one I can report is Sequoias hosting Butte. That score 21-21. At the end of the third quarter, of course, Redwoods just faced off against Sequoias. They will be playing Butte towards the end of the season. Looking for some more NorCal scores. Let's see. Siskiyous is at Coalinga College. That game kicked off at 1. No reported score there. Cabrillo, Feather River playing each other as well. Also no score reported from there. San Jose taking on Reedley College, start of the second quarter. It is 0-0 there. Modesto is at American River College. Modesto up 7-0 in the first quarter. Laney is at Santa Rosa. 3:45 left to go in the first quarter. That game is scoreless. Sierra taking on San Francisco City. Sierra is up 7-3. Midway through the first quarter, of course, Redwoods will take on Sierra after the bye week in a couple of weeks. Then Contra Costa is at Hartnell, no reported score. Merced at San Joaquin Delta, also no reported score from there as well. Some games kicking off tonight. Fresno City will host San Mateo at 5. De Anza will take on Chabot at 6. And then looking for some more NorCal games kicking off tonight. Also at 6, Foothill will host Sacramento City College. And then Gavilan will host Los Medanos at 6 as well. And then that is it for the NorCal scores in the 3C2A. Let's take you through some scores around the country. FBS college football, currently a bit of a shock up in Seattle. Washington currently leading number 1 Ohio State 3-0. About 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. A big game. Number 13 Ole Miss hosting number 4 LSU. End of the first quarter, LSU up 7-3. 11:30 left to go in the second quarter. Number 9 Texas A&M hosting Auburn. A&M up 7-0. Number 11 Indiana going to Iowa. Indiana up 7-3. A little ways to go in the second quarter. Mississippi State is up 7-0 over number 15 ranked Tennessee. 10:34 left in the first quarter there in Oxford. And then some games kicking off later at 4 o'clock. Arizona will take on number 14 Iowa State in Ames at 4:30. This is the big game tonight. Number 6 Oregon going to Happy Valley to take on number 3 Penn State. That game is on NBC and Peacock later tonight. Then number 17 Alabama, big game in the SEC, going to Georgia to take on number 5 Georgia, also at 4:30. Massachusetts will go to number 20 Missouri at 4:30 as well. And then the last top 25 game kicking off tonight will be number 25 BYU going to Boulder to take on Colorado at 7:15. Some finals around top 25 college football. Georgia Tech just barely eking out a win in overtime over Wake Forest. 16 Georgia Tech winning 30-29. Number 18 Vanderbilt handling Utah State by a score of 55-35. Number 23 Illinois. Good game. Just barely beating USC. Number 21 USC by a score of 34-32. And then last final from today, number 22 Notre Dame handling Arkansas by a score of 56-13. We do have some top 25 scores from yesterday. The big story being Florida State, number 8 Florida State losing in overtime to Virginia by a score of 46-38. And then another upset as well, number 24 TCU losing to Arizona State by a score of 27-24 in Tempe. We're going to take a 60-second break, and then Mitchell Monju will be back with your second half call. You're listening to Redwoods Football, 107.3 FM.
Just about ready for second half kickoff as Redwoods will receive. They trail 27-20. Thank you as always to Liam Warner for your score updates and taking the reins at the half as College of the Redwoods looking to answer. Monterey Peninsula got a touchdown with 10 seconds to go at the end of the second quarter to pull ahead by 7. Your score at the half, start of the third quarter, 27-20. Monterey Peninsula College Lobos on top of College of the Redwoods Corsairs. It will be Dominic Conant, Isaac Johnson, deep to receive.
Dominic Conant back to return for Redwood.
Offense looked good. Devin Forehand been in control of the offense to this point. The run game has helped out. And talked to quarterback coach Eric Helms on the way down. And I was like, I like the Philly special. And he looked at me and laughed. He says, once a year. Once a year. So that was a good time to pull it out as the kick is away and takes a bounce. It hit the end zone first before going out of bounds, so it will be a touchback. It was jumped back into the field of play out around the 3 or 4, but as soon as it hits the end zone, it is a dead ball. So Devin Forehand and the offense will head back out onto the field with the ball spotted at their own 25-yard line. Yeah, this is Redwood's team trailed 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Answered the bell. It was tied at 20 and a strong drive before the half. Monterey Peninsula gives them a 7-point advantage. As we stand now, Redwoods all black working right to left. The sun is back out in full force here over the Redwood Bowl. And we had a flag on the play. This Monterey Peninsula was showing pressure. Steven Richardson was blitzing off the outside. He jumped off sides, but it appears Redwoods moved first. So with no time off the clock, that's a 5-yard loss. First down and 15 now from the 20. Redwoods has done a good job for the most part holding onto the football. They have no interceptions. Have fumbled once. They'll shift the formation, move the tight end, Dascom to the right side. Forehand takes the snap. And a handoff to Ohlenberger over the right side as the offensive line continues to push forward. Be marked down for a gain of 4 on the ground. Second down and 11. Quick hitters in the passing game were a big part of what started to get this offense rolling. But if you can get the run game going, it'll help that much more. Three receivers split out left. Meadows the lone man right. Dropping back to pass. It's a screen to Dodd. Dodd trying to go underneath, making a couple guys miss, and ultimately ran more side to side than he did up and down, and a gain of just 3 on the pitch and catch. It was the same tunnel screen they ran to Dodd that he broke for about 15, 20 yards and ended up fumbling at the end of it. Definitely a dynamic playmaker, but just 3 on that gain leaves them with 3rd and 8. Empty backfield. 3 receivers left, ball at the right hash. Hard count from Forehand. Everybody looks to the sideline. Gets the call. Play clock at 2. Got to go. Get the snaps off. Forehand. Eyes downfield. Stepping up in the pocket. Nobody open. He's going to scramble now. Puts his shoulder down. Takes another hit. We have a flag coming in. The ball is out. Forehand is down. There has been no whistle. And Monterey Peninsula is going to walk it back for 6. And Forehand is coming off holding collarbone left shoulder area. And he's got his helmet off to the sideline. As we have no official call on the field. We've got a penalty flag down It appears as if it was ruled a fumble, scooped up and returned for 6. Jason White talking with the referee on the Redwood sideline as the 4 other Zebras confer at the 15-yard line. There's a lot of things to sort out here. The runner was ruled down. Who's the penalty against? Offense remains on the field for Redwood still as the referees attempt to sort out the call.
You can see Nate Keys and Chad Farrow talking to forehand behind the bench.
Yeah, he put his shoulder down, tried to get those extra 2 yards he needed for the first, and it was a big collision.
Looks like he's still has his helmet in his hand, so good sign. Putting his helmet back on.
And he came off the field under his own power. That's important to note because if he had stayed down, the training staff had gone on, he has to come out for at least one play. So forehand is good to go should the offense remain in possession, but we still have 5 officials chatting it up in between the 15 and the 20. We try to sort through exactly what's going to happen on this play. Both coaches just inside the hashes near the sideline, trying to get any information. So I think we're finally about to get the call.
During the play, penalty, offense number 55. That penalty's declined, result of the play, touchdown.
That hurts.
So fumble by forehand, returned for 6, and we just talked about CR hanging on to the football and not turning it over. A costly one there as forehand coughs it up, and it's returned for 6. So each defense has now put the ball in the end zone. That makes it 33-20. Point after try is up and good. So 3 plays for Redwoods and put 6 on the board for the wrong team. 34-20, your score back in 30 seconds, ESPN 107.3 FM. So kick is away as Johnson drops it in the end zone, and he's just going to pick it up, and he's going to return it out of the end zone, and he's tackled down at his own 2-yard line. He touched it in the end zone. At that point, he could have kneeled it down for a touchback still, but probably was worried about a safety and elected to try and take it out.
That's a head scratcher, but yeah, I think you're right. Might have thought he had to get that one out of the end zone.
Well, the offense that just turned the football over and gave the Lobos 7 points is now headed back onto the field at their own 3-yard line. Wishbone formation. Forehand under center. 13:07 to go, third quarter. As it's a handoff to Ohlenberger. Ohlenberger turns it upfield and tackled right around the 10-yard line. Gain of 7 on the carry.
Close to 8 on the play. Going to make it 2nd and 2 for Redwoods, just outside of 10.
Quentin Buckland checks into the game. And he's going to line up at a tight end position on the left side of the formation. Forehand takes the snap, handoff. Running right is Grant. Grant's got a first down and more before being tackled out of bounds, but a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a good one for Redwoods.
Second down and 3. Will remain second down as it's going to be a hold against Redwoods. So it'll back him up half the distance to the goal. So it'll be second down and call it 7. Those are the football in between the 5 and 6 yard line. (34-20). Lobos on top, back to the wishbone. Forehand under center, shifts the man in motion. He lost the snap, picked it up. And forehand's going to try and escape to the outside. A stiff arm, puts his shoulder down and tackled out of bounds at the 10. So could have been disastrous. The ball on the turf yet again for the Corsairs. Forehand manages to pick it up. And unlikely, turns it into positive yardage, brings up third down and 3. But this third quarter has not been the start Redwoods wanted or needed. Already allowed 7 points on the scoop and score. Now 3rd and 3, forehand under center. In the wishbone. Handoff right side, churning forward, and I don't think he's going to get there. It's going to be close, maybe a yard short on the rush from Alec Grant. He'll be marked a yard short, and punt team on for Redwoods. Yeah, first 2 drives. 3 plays into the second half, a fumble, scoop and score for 6, and now a 3 and out on the second possession. Does not bode well for CR. Wobbly punt is going to take a sideways bounce and be downed at Redwood's own 44-yard line. So excellent starting field position for Monterey Peninsula, looking to extend their lead up by 14. This defense will head back out onto the field. Head scratcher of a third quarter for sure.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 at the CR 45. Lopez takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff. Left side, Kyler Smith coming in to clean up the play for Redwoods. Gain of 3 on the ground. As David Roberts with the carry for the Lobos. Officially, they'll give him 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6. 10.5 to go. Third quarter. Lopez takes the snap to give to Roberts, running over the left side again. A big tackle made. On the far side.
touchdown by Brandon Review on the play for a first win and only one. 35.
Cameron Reg coming up from the safety spot, making the tackle. 3rd down and 4. Lopez in the shotgun. Brings a man in motion. Gives it on the speed sweep. It's Mark Harris looking for a lane and puts his head down and picks up 8, enough to move the chains.
Harris.
Brings the ball down to the CR 32. As we approach the 9-minute mark in this 3rd quarter, and wind has just been taken out of the sails for Redwoods, and coupled with the touchdown right before the half, tack on a fumble, scoop and score for 6, and now trail by 14 after tying this game up at 20. There's a completion to Harris across the middle, close to the 1st down. And it'll be a 9-yard catch, 2nd down and 1. Back on the ball, 2nd down and 1. Lopez dropping back to pass. We're looking for the fake screen, wasn't there. He's going to scramble over the left side. He's got the 1st down and slides just inside the 20. And a flag comes in as he had given himself up and took a bit of a hit.
More mental mistakes from Redwoods. No need for that.
So this will set up most likely a 1st and goal scenario. So as soon as that quarterback enters the sliding motion, giving himself up, you can't touch him.
Personal foul, defense. After distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
That'll set up Monterey with a 1st down and goal. So ball will be spotted officially at the 10. Empty formation for Monterey. Bring Harris in motion and keeper, and it blasted. Quarterback Harris took a massive hit. It was Caleb Morgan coming up from the linebacker spot. Just drilled him right at the 10. So it'll be 2nd down and goal now from the 10. Second and goal from the 10-yard line. Stop would be huge. A turnover could swing things as it's a quick dump off underneath. Nobody home for Redwoods. Grandius Poe could have he could have walked it in if he wanted to. Jogged it in for 6. The lead is now 20 for Monterey. It's miscommunication on the crossing route, and there was nobody on the left side of the field. So 7:14 to go, 3rd quarter. It's a 3-score ball game. Fernandez lines up the PAT. Soft snap, but it gets down. Kick is up and good. 41-20, Monterey on top. You're listening to Redwoods football on ESPN 107.3 FM. Saul Reyes is back deep to receive along with Dominic Connat. Isaac Johnson not. First time he hasn't been back there after returning that kick out of the end zone that could have kneeled down for a touchback. So Fernandez getting ready to kick it away. And it's fielded by Connat. He returns it from the end zone. Connat is going to be tripped up and stays on his feet and dropped inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Take a touchback, please. Back-to-back times, Redwoods has opted to bring the football out of the end zone, and both times they're pinned deep inside their own 10. And wide receivers coach Maurice Purify let Johnson know about it. Now he's letting Connat know.
Well, yeah, I know it's a fairly new rule, but you have that fair catch ability now on kickoff returns.
You can take the fair catch wherever, and then also if you catch it in the end zone, you don't have to bring it out.
Exactly.
Even if you touch it, bobble it, you can still kneel it down.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of mental mistakes on this Redwoods team so far today.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10 from their own 10. Forehand takes the snap, dropping back to pass. Caught by Meadows on the far side. Meadows picks up 10, just enough for a first down. Chains move, and that'll give you a little bit of cushion from the end zone. Redwoods trailed by 14 at the end of the first quarter. Tied it back up at 20 before giving up a score right before halftime. Play action, forehand, looking. He's got a man wide open at the 40. Nobody left. Meadows is going to take it 80 yards to the house. Touchdown, Corsairs. And quickly slicing into the lead. 2 catches, 90 yards and a touchdown for Meadows. CR's trying to fight back and put some points on the board. Don't look now, Liam. This is the 3rd game this Redwoods team has allowed 40-plus points in a row. Saylor on to attempt the point after with 6:28 to go, 3rd quarter. Kick is up, and it's good. So, quick strike for Redwoods. They trail 41-27. You're listening to Redwoods Football, ESPN 107.3 FM. (41-27). Offense continuing to battle, and will kick it away as 14 points already on the board in this 3rd quarter for Monterey, and they're getting the football back. As Saylor kicks it away. A good kick. And bounces out the back of the end zone. Monterey wisely taking a touchback. They will start at their own 25 with 6:28 to go, 3rd quarter. We'd like to thank North Fork Lumber Company and Game On for sponsoring College of the Redwoods football, helping keep us on the air all season long. Six and a half to go, 3rd quarter, 41-27. Your score, Monterey leading Redwoods here from the Redwood Bowl. A beautiful Saturday afternoon. Lopez takes the snap, play action, dropping back, looking, delivers, caught across the middle at the 40-45, across midfield, where the tackle is made. Mark Harris been getting quite a few touches from Monterey.
Picked up with 28 on the play. Give it a little first down for Redwood, 47.
6 to go. As one play and Monterey in plus territory. Play action. Lopez to pass, looking deep down the field. Too much for his intended target, Julius Robinson. So after the chunk play, trying to flip the field, and just too much from Manuel Lopez on the throw. Looking for a stop or a turnover if you're Redwoods. Send a man in motion out of the backfield. And it's a handoff drilled at midfield. Big tackle for a loss. Luke Saraceno coming off the edge to make the play. Brings up 3rd down and 12. 5:20 to go, 3rd quarter. Play clock at 10. Is Monterey just getting players on the field? 5, 4, 3. They got to snap it. And do. Lopez back to pass. Pressure coming in. It's batted down. Caleb Morgan got a paw on it at the line of scrimmage. That's the stop the defense was looking for. Monterey will bring the punt team on near midfield. Jaire Alexander standing at his own 12 to receive the punt. On his way, it's a booming spiral. Alexander, oh, thank goodness. He almost caught it at the 3 and then let it go out the back of the end zone. Wisely taking the touchback. So forehand in the offense, headed back out onto the field. It took him just 2 plays to go 90 yards, 2 passes to Alex Meadows. Cut the lead back to 14. Remember, this was a 7-point game at the half, and we were tied for a majority of the second quarter at 20. Self-inflicted wounds and mistakes have allowed Monterey to jump out to what was one point a 21-point lead. Here's a play action screen pass out to Reyes. Reyes with blockers in front. He's upended at the 25 and crashes to the turf at the 27. Meadows and Anthony check out. Buckland and Dascom back in the game. 2nd down and 2 upcoming. Two receivers right to the wide side of the field. Snap and the give is to Ohlenberger. And Hank Ohlenberger needed 2, got 3, and chains move. The clock runs. We're at 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, a 14-point game. Forehand in the offense, try to get something going. They bring Reyes in motion, give it to him on the speed sweep. Reyes trying to turn the corner on the outside. He's tackled. Gain of 5 on the carry for the slot receiver. Keep churning forward.
Picks up 5 on the play. Gonna be second and 5 Redwoods from their own 36.
So 2nd and 5 from the 36. With the run, clock continues to wind. Not a huge factor yet, but you're going to need some stops defensively. Bring Reyes in motion from the other side, give it to Olenberger up the middle, and ran into a lineman, but kept his legs going, still going, first down yardage and getting pushed forward. They have not blown it dead yet. Still pushing the pile. Olenberger still up at midfield. He's still churning before finally being dragged out. First contact was made at the line of scrimmage. That's 15 yards after contact and about 8 yards of push from the offensive lineman to work him out to midfield.
I don't think I've ever seen a run quite like that.
And a ton of credit to the referees not blowing that play dead, because Olenberger's forward progress was never stopped. So fresh set of downs at midfield. Just over 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Snap to forehand, play action, throw over the middle. It's caught by Dascom. Tripped up at the 30-yard line. He lost the ball but was down way before that. And a gain of 22 to the tight end.
22 on the play, scored ball after being down.
Offense continuing to put positive plays together. Forehand in the shotgun. As the hard count, everybody looks over to the running back coach, Tyler Haskell, on the sideline for the signal. Snap, and it's a fumble. Ball's on the ground. And I think Monterey's got it. Yes, they do. Third fumble recovery for the Lobos defense today. And a positive drive is all for naught as turnover gives the football back to the Lobos. Well, not great.
Nope. I mean, it's just so deflating just to see them, make play after play and then just shoot themselves in the foot over and over.
Yeah, you got the positive drive, and again, coming up empty. You give the football back to Monterey. $1:37 to go, third quarter, trailing by 14. Lopez takes the snap for Monterey. Pressure coming. He's forced out of the pocket. He's going to scramble, and he's brought down from behind after gain of 7 with his legs. Daquan Dunn making the tackle. And Daquan's seen quite a bit of playing time today. Some reps on defense is 2nd down and 2. Upcoming for Monterey. Minute to go, third quarter. Lopez the snap. Give up the middle. And Roberts the back is tackled for a gain of about 2. That's going to be right at the sticks. And signal is first down. So fresh set of downs at their own 38-yard line for Monterey. We're going to have to run one more play before the end of the third quarter here. Lopez takes a snap, blitz coming, throws it deep down the right side and off the fingertips, but a flag comes in. Julius Robinson, the intended target, Dominic Connaught in coverage for CR. Just a little bit of contact at the end. The flag came flying in. wasn't a ton of contact, but when you don't get the head around, it goes against the defense 9 times out of 10. So the penalty clock stops at 18 seconds. And 15 yards puts Monterey in Redwoods territory at the 48. Lopez back to pass, throws it quickly out to the tight end, and he's cut down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made on the play by Tate Snyder. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Your score, Monterey 41, Redwoods 27. You're listening to CR Football on ESPN 107.3 FM. So we'll flip ends of the field as the final 15 minutes of the ball game. Monterey Peninsula College 41, College of the Redwoods 27. As always, alongside Liam Warner, Mitchell Monge. CR Football is brought to you by North Fork Lumber Company and Game On. Also brought to you in part by Harper Motors, your local bowman, and J&G Lawn and Garden. Thank you to all of our sponsors of College of the Redwoods football, keeping us on the airwaves locally here in Humboldt County on ESPN 107.3 FM and 1340 KATA. Second down and 8 as we start the fourth quarter. It's a throw completed far side to Robinson. Evades a defender and fights forward for first down yardage. So Monterey continues to move the chains. Some bright spots here for CR today, but turnovers continue to haunt them as 3 fumbles, including 1 returned for 6 at the start of the third quarter, have been detrimental. First and 10 from the Redwoods 35. Snap, Lopez, pressure coming. Uncorks the deep ball down the right side, knocked away. Great coverage, a little bit of redemption there for Dominic Connat. Connat snapped his head around and batted that football down. Otherwise, it would have been right into the hands of Robinson for another 6. So after the shot play on first down, 2nd and 10. 3 receivers left to the wide side of the field. Snap and a screen quickly is bobbled and dropped. Looking for Guillory on the bubble screen out of the slot. Back-to-back incompletions bring up 3rd and 10. Got to have a stop here. They have a chance, trailing by 14. 3rd down and 10. Empty formation for Monterey. Lopez takes a snap. 4 rushers coming. It's a screen underneath to Robinson. Robinson with room to run. First down yardage. Cuts it back at the 20. And tackled at the 15-yard line. And we've got a flag. The numbers right around the 40-yard line, far side of the field. And the quarterback Lopez is signaling it's against Redwoods.
There's no flag or an eligible down kick when the compassionate behind the scrimmage. First down.
No flag for an eligible man downfield as the pass was behind the line of scrimmage. So the first down stands. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line.
Ball down to Redwood's 13-yard line. Where it'll be first and 10.
Monterey just putting the ball in the hands of their playmakers and letting them do the rest. Empty set. Lopez in the gun, takes the snap. Looking left, it throws a little tunnel screen underneath to Guillory, trying to cut back and falls down. Pick up a 5 on the play.
Another quick screen. Roderick Guillory.
So Monterey hasn't really been able to get a ton going in the run game. Redwoods has defended it well. So in instances here where you're trying to run clock and keep that scoreboard running, just opting to throw some screens and quick hitter passes in lieu of a run game is 2nd down and 7 from the 10. Back to pass again. Pressure coming, and Lopez sacked back at the 17. That was number 99, Luke Saraceno. Gets the sack. He's up 3rd down. Call it 3rd and 15. Line to gain is the 4. Tight bunch receiver out right. The lone man left is Poe. Dropping back to pass Lopez. Throwing over the middle. It's caught at the 10. And falling forward across the 5. Down at the 3. Needed 14. Got 15. And yet again, another 3rd down conversion for the Lobos. We might be measuring this. I'm not sure. The referees they're going to eyeball it. And we're going to have an official measurement. I thought it was, line to gain looked to be the 4, and it looks like he fell forward at the 5 and extended. But we'll have the chain gang coming in from the far side.
Yeah, put those baseball players to work.
So we'll get an official measurement. That was the first time this season we've seen them have to bring the chains out to measure. Usually the referees, even when it's close, just kind of eyeball it down the line. Stretches the chains, and it's enough for Monterey 1st down. 12:09 to go, 4th quarter. It'll be 1st and goal for the Lobos. Nose of the football right at the 3. For 41-27. A field goal makes this a 3-score game. But 1st and goal. Snap to Lopez, dropping back to pass. Fade route off the right side. Was it caught? Yes. Touchdown. Horrendous Poe with the touchdown reception, and 47 points on the board now for Monterey with the PAT coming. That's about to be the final nail in the coffin, unfortunately, for Redwoods. 3-score game with 12 minutes to go is not looking very optimistic. PAT up and good. So 11:51 to go in the game. Monterey 48, Redwoods 27. a 21-point lead here on ESPN 107.3 FM. Fernandez getting set to kick it away. Reyes and Kana deep to receive for Redwoods. It's a line drive kick and is going to spin and go out of bounds in the end zone. That was about 2 feet away from being out of bounds on the sideline, but CR will take over at their own 25. Liam, you got a bye next week before the final 5-game stretch at Sierra, at Shasta, home Santa Rosa, at Butte, home American River. Sierra will get conference play underway at Sierra on October 11th. But bye week to try and get right midway through the season and turn things around in the second half. Forehand back to pass. Cuts it out right to Anthony. Makes a man miss at the 30. Turns forward for another 4 yards. Gain of 9 on the play.
Justice Anthony. He'll pick up 9 on the play.
It'll bring up second down and 1. 11 and a half to go, fourth quarter. 48-27 is our score as empty formation for Redwoods, just trying to put some window dressing on the box score. Forehand, back to pass. Looking deep. Comes back short, completed to Reyes for first down yardage at the 40.
Forehand finds Reyes. Picks up another 7 yards on the play. Good enough for the Redwoods first down.
Chains move, and the offense has actually done a good job moving the ball as forehand takes the snap again. Throws completed across midfield to Reyes. Evading a tackle, spinning out of another before being tackled at the plus 46-yard line. Offense has moved the football well, Liam. It's been the turnovers.
Yeah.
The 3 fumbles. That's really big factors. The taking the ball out of the end zone, not taking the touchback, and the fumbles is really what has come back to hurt Redwood. So the most disappointing part, I think, about it all is they're fixable mistakes. We got a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well back in 30 seconds here on ESPN 107.3 FM. So Monterey took a timeout. Let's see, CR moving the football here. 10 and a half to go. It's not over yet. Just need everything to go exactly right.
Seemed everything to go perfectly.
Yeah, well, it's the game of football. There's a false start against CR. Anything can happen. That's the beautiful part of the sport. However, I would say extremely unlikely. That was the right guard, Kaike Salvador, getting tagged for the false start. Makes it first down and 15 for CR from their own 49. 5 wide, forehand, back to pass, throwing on the left side and intercepted. It was a spectacular interception, a diving play by Hendrick Lusk Jr. to come away with the 4th Redwoods turnover of the afternoon. Now I would revise extremely unlikely to next to impossible.
Yeah, I think we're in that territory at this point.
Got to keep your head up on the sideline, though.
Yeah, that's what Coach White wanted to see. I mean, he was telling guys that pregame. I mean, no matter what happens, you got to keep your head up. And I think that's what he's going to look for is the attitude of the players, you know, how hard they play despite, you know, being in a game at this point that's pretty much out of reach.
New quarterback in for the Lobos as David Roberts. I don't think he was ever down. I think he got tackled on top of the defender. He thought so, got up and tried to take it up the left side, but the play was blown dead. The new quarterback is number 13, Dominic Pierini, a freshman from Monte Vista Christian out in Watsonville, California. Gain of 2 on the carry. 2nd down and 8. Redwoods showing some pressure. Pierini takes the snap. They rush 5. Hand off to Roberts, trying to turn the corner on the right side. Picks up about 6 before he's tackled down just shy of the 40-yard line. That'll make it 3rd and 2. Ball at the own 39-yard line. Snap, and it's a handoff to the running back. 1st down and more for Ashton Murphy. And now it's Monterey's turn to push the pile. The ball came out. And ball was out before the whistle, but they're going to say that the forward progress was stopped. An unfortunate outcome. I mean,
the Redwood sideline is very unhappy with that call.
Well, as they should be. On the other end, when Olenberger was running and the linemen were pushing the pile, they let that one go for a good 5, 6, 7 seconds to continue moving it. And the quick whistle there on the carry negates a would-be fumble. Lobos stay in possession with 1st down at midfield. You're a fan, you'll call it the same both ways. It's along the lines of what I was saying is Pierini drops back to pass, completed over the left side. Catch and run for 10 yards on the completion to DeAndre Cobb. So the catch moves the chains and another 1st down for Monterey. Into Redwoods territory at the 40-yard line, and Lobo's going to start using all the play clock. Pierini takes the snap. It's a quick screen to the left side, looking for a lane, but forced out of bounds. Tackle made by Michael Brownlee. Gain of 3 on the screen pass. Clock continues to wind towards 7 minutes. Staying in a no huddle formation and looking over the sideline for the call, but using as much play clock as they can, the Lobos are. Pierini, the snap. Drops back, takes a hit as he throws, but it's completed across the middle. Reception made by Jaden Hernandez before he's tackled down at the 23. Credit to the Lobos. They've done a good job. First down, they keep moving the sticks. So now deep inside Redwoods territory at the 23. Fresh set of downs, clock under 6.5. Pierini takes the snap, drops back, throws a fade route out of the slot on the right side. Too strong. Looking for Roderick Guillory. The clock stops with 6:20 to go. Again, our score is Monterey 48, Redwoods 27. Backup quarterback in the game is Dominic Pierini. Takes the snap on 2nd and 10. It's a handoff. Running up the middle, 5-6 yard carry for Enobong Worth. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Tough to win when you're allow 54 points to DVC, 41 at Sequoias, and 48 and counting here at home against Monterey. Just a tough stretch of games. You're asking your offense to do a ton when those kind of points are on the board. We're going to throw a quick screen, plays blown dead as tight end was hit on a crossing route underneath. But a flag at the line of scrimmage. No play. Ball start goes against Monterey.
Make it 3rd and 11. Just inside the 25-yard line.
5:26 to go, 4th quarter. 21-point game. Third and 11. Pierini shifts the back to the right side. Now moves him back left. Play clock at 1. They just got the snap off. Throwing a fade route on the right side. And broken up, nearly intercepted. Jamison Martin coming over. Had an opportunity there. Dominic Connett was the cornerback in coverage. Field goal unit on to attempt a, call it a 41-yarder. Centered in the middle of the field. Fernandez, the kicker. Low snap, gets it there. Fernandez's kick is up. Plenty of leg, but no good. So field goal attempt misses with 5 minutes to go. CR will send their offense back out onto the field. And see what they could do. Redwoods will get the ball back at their own 25-yard line. So you got 2 weeks before your next game, and they might guess and would say an opportunity to clean some things up, but it's a lot that needs to get cleaned up, to be quite honest. I think they're closer than a lot of people think at 0-5, but there's still the mental mistakes are taxing. Forehand back to pass, steps up in the pocket. Pressure coming from behind. He's going to tuck it and run. Slides down after a gain of 7. Or excuse me, closer to the sticks than initially thought. It'll be about a yard or two short.
Yeah, they're closer than you would think at 0-5, but that's what makes it more frustrating. So you can see what they can do.
Quick snap, forehands, passes, tip, nearly intercepted on the far side. Was looking for Justice Anthony. Brings up 3rd down and short.
Of course, we talked about it earlier. I mean, the first 2 games, Redwood should have won.
Yeah.
Against Sac City and Foothill.
Yeah, the Foothill, I mean, I think less so. Sac City definitely.
Sac City definitely, yeah.
Is a game you're looking back on. And it's got a big asterisk next to it for sure when you're yet to get a win. Timeout on the field. We'll take one with them back in 30 seconds to wrap this one up. 4.5 to go in the 4th quarter. You're listening to Redwoods Football, ESPN 107.3 FM. Forehand goes under center, and the wishbone is going to keep it on the quarterback sneak as he's still churning forward. Needed one on 3rd down. Now he's driven backwards, and a flag comes flying in, directed at the Redwoods sideline.
Sure, that's not a good sign.
Not sure what that flag could have been. .421 to go, 4th quarter. 48-27. Monterey on top.
Maybe it's either a conduct foul or some sort of substitution issue, maybe.
I mean, yeah, the only thing I could think is be a sideline warning. They already have one, so this would be a
that is right
penalty.
So it might be their second sideline warning, which would...
Yeah, they had Deron Dodd and a couple others. They had the receivers trying to sub quickly back on, and I think they jumped on the field right as the play was over, but I really have no clue as to what this flag is. It's in between the numbers and the sideline, a rare spot you're going to see a penalty unless you've got like a corner, a receiver and a defensive back working out there.
Came in towards the end of the play as well.
Sideline warning against Redwoods. That's the 2nd of the game. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Be first down.
Okay, so it is a sideline warning. The 2nd of the game is going to result in a 5-yard penalty. They needed one. They got more than, they got about 7 or 8 on the quarterback keeper. So the 5-yard penalty remains first down yardage. Chains will move. Ball spotted at Redwood's own 37. Forehand bobbles the snap, gets it out, caught by Buckland, and goes out of bounds at the 45. Gain of 7 on the reception for the former quarterback.
Forehand pass complete to Buckland. He picks up about 7 on the play before he's driven it around.
The one thing for Buckland to move into receivers as a quarterback, you have to know the offense, so he should have a pretty good grasp of what you're supposed to do on each play at the receiver position. Less to learn. As he remains the wideout lone man to the right. Forehand, back to pass, looking left, still looking left. Now comes back the opposite direction, tried to get it to Ohlenberger. Was tipped to the defensive tackle who made the interception, and Ohlenberger upends, and we got a flag on the play.
It's going to be a hold on Redwoods.
It's going to be a hold, so the interception's going to stand. Big number 95, Jaden Brown. Local kid, freshman out of Monterey. Gets the interception. Penalty is against Redwoods, and it's declined. And 3:39 to go, fourth quarter. Monterey is going to put the offense back out on the field to try and finish this game off. Unfortunate, really, for Redwoods. As much as momentum as they had, especially in that second quarter, tying the game up, felt like things were finally going in their favor. That late touchdown before the half and coming out flat to start the third quarter. We brought it up. You got to win the middle eight. 21-0. Middle eight in favor. It might be 21-7, depending on how close that touchdown to Meadows was to the 11-minute mark. But you can't allow 14 points within the first 3-4 minutes of the second half. Pierini with a handoff. The tackle is made right at the line of scrimmage. Gain of maybe 1. Zion Black on the carry. Freshman from Saginaw, Michigan.
Legal formation, offense, number 67.
Flag on the play. Illegal formation against Monterey will back them up 5 and stays at first down. Redwoods will be on a bye next week before going on the road to face Sierra College October 11th. Follow that up with another road game at Shasta, home Santa Rosa at Butte, and then American River, and they're done second week in November. Snap and another handoff to Black, trying to cut it back on the left side. He's dragged down from behind. Tackles made on the play by Michael Lean. Second down and 14. Second tackle of the day for the Eureka High product. Second down and 14. Pierini takes the snap and another handoff to Black, and the tackle is made. Loss of about a half yard on the carry. Cedar Sutherland, St. Bernard's. Crusader makes the tackle. It's up third down and long. And Monterey will let the clock run down to the 2-minute timeout as they continue to jog off the sideline. Timeout on the field. We'll take a final timeout with them back in 30 seconds. ESPN 107.3 FM. Third down and 14 coming out of the 2-minute warning. Line to gain for Monterey is the 35-yard line. Backup quarterback Pierini, and the gun takes the snap, rolling out to his right, eyes downfield, and he's going to turn it upfield and try to run, and is tackled after a gain of 6. Bring up fourth down. Fourth down and about 8 or 9. Some confusion on the Monterey side as they're trying to decide if they're going to punt it or go for it. to imagine they would try to go for it in plus territory. You get it, the game's over. You don't get it, you turn it back to Redwood's still up 21, but I think they're going to let the play clock run down and take a timeout, because we're already at 5. Either to delay a game or a timeout, one or the other. There's the timeout taken by Monterey on the far side. Back in 30 seconds, you're listening to Redwoods Football, ESPN 107.3 FM. So 4th down, and Monterey going to go for it. They throw a little screen pass underneath. Tackle will be made after a gain of just 2, where they will take over on 4th down with 60 seconds remaining in the ball game. So out of the timeout, a little screen pass on 4th down, and a turnover as Redwood's offense will go back on the field to wrap this one up. Final minute of game action. Monterey on top 48-27. It'll be Brighton Livingston in at quarterback. Livingston takes the snap, drops back, throws a hitch to Buckland. Pass completed at the 50. And Buckland is wrestled down out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. Buckland tried to throw the ball back to the umpire, and it kind of wheeled off to the right, and the defensive lineman, number 75, Mikey Yanes, wasn't even looking at the play, just snapped his head at the last second and ended up catching the ball. So obviously this defensive line already with an interception, they got some good hands too for Monterey. Clock stopped as Buckland went out of bounds, 53 seconds. Livingston back to pass. He's going to heave it deep down the left side, looking for Justice Anthony. Comes up just short. Anthony Hobbs, the linebacker, in coverage. Pass goes incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the Monterey 48. Livingston takes the snap. Wide receiver screen. The far side to Duron Dodd. Dodd got just past the marker before he stood up and driven backwards, but that's going to be 1st down yardage.
Just before the 1st down marker.
Coach White is going to decide to take a timeout. We'll take one too. Back in 30 seconds, ESPN 107.3 FM. First and 10 coming out of the timeout. Ball at the Monterey 37. Livingston drops back to pass. Pressure coming, trying to step up, and he's going to get sacked back at the 47-yard line. Coach White burns another timeout. 27 seconds, and we'll go ahead and just keep it here. I guess the question, Liam, is, where do you go from here? You're looking at 0-5, and you've already made a change at quarterback, so you're probably not going to make another one. And you've got a bye week to try and get things together, but it's really just staying together as a unit and improving on, some things here and there. But again, as we've talked about it too many times, the mental mistakes, just always comes back to haunt CR. It's been turnovers and mental mistakes, and like you had mentioned previously, it's things that are in your control.
Yeah, I think all you can ask for is improvement. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell whether this bye week is going to be more good or bad, because it's obviously good because, gives guys rest, injuries, guys can come back. But, I mean, after a loss like this, it'd be beneficial just to get back onto the football field and go at it for another game next week instead of having 2 weeks to think about it. But
right, and after the 0-4, it does kind of give you 2 weeks to regroup as a team. So 2nd and 17, Livingston back to pass, steps out of the pocket. He's going to run and scramble, cuts it back. Livingston tries to deliver the blow. He picked up 15 yards on the scramble over the left side. Coach White takes his 3rd and final timeout with 13 seconds. We'll take one more with him back in 30 seconds. ESPN 107.3 FM. Third down and 2 with 13 seconds to go, and Coach White would like to put some more points on the board. And as Livingston takes the snap, looking, throws deep for the end zone, intercepted. And bringing it back with a few seconds left on the clock. As Livingston was intercepted in the end zone, 2 seconds remaining. It'll be one final knee from Monterey to wrap things up. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turnovers, 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions. Really wouldn't hold that last interception against CR, but so offense is going to head back out there for Monterey to seal the deal. Play clock at 5 seconds. Pierini says, just go. All we got to do is snap it. They hand it off. Run up the middle. Tackle is made. And that will do it. Unfortunately, we've got an injured Lobo down on the field. Looks to be all right, getting help to his feet. Final score from the Redwood Bowl: Monterey 48, Redwoods 27. We'll take a 60-second timeout. We come back, we'll wrap things up with the Redwoods postgame show here on ESPN 107.3 FM. So back here at the Redwood Bowl, final score 48-27. Monterey prevails by 21. They go to 5-0. Redwoods drops to 0-5. LMCR fell behind early. They trailed by 14 at the end of the first quarter, answered back. A interception return for a touchdown by Victory Oricano tied the game at 20. And then a touchdown before half put Monterey up 7. We go into half. We're thinking Redwoods is right there. They've got a lot of opportunity. Just need to come out. They should get the ball to start the second half. And what happens? They get the ball to start it. Third down. Forehand with the quarterback keeper. Gets stood up. Takes a big hit. Puts the ball on the ground. And it's returned for a touchdown. Quick 3 and out. Give it back to Monterey. They go down, score again, and a 21-point lead that Redwoods was never really able to recover from. And once that fumble was returned for a touchdown to make it 14, you really felt all the wind coming out of the sails. So Redwoods, 5 total turnovers. They had some unsportsmanlike, some personal fouls, and a couple of times they opted to take kickoff returns out of the end zone, set them up with starting field position inside their own 10, once at the 3, once at the 9. And so just mental mistakes, turnovers, that's really what sealed the deal here. The offense was able to move the football for the most part, but your last 3 games, you've given up 54, 41, and now 48 points. It's not going to get it done.
No, you pretty much said it all. Just a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of turnovers. The most frustrating part about all this is you can see flashes of what this team can be. You can see, this offense moving the ball down the field and shooting themselves in the foot. You can see the defense. They have 3 or 4 pick sixes this season. They can turn the ball over and make plays. They can come back and respond after going down early, but they just can't put it together enough to actually, get themselves a win. So, yeah, it's just frustrating, and they'll have a lot to work on in this bye week.
Well, as you mentioned, bye week coming up next, so no football for Redwoods next Saturday. They go on the road at Sierra October 11th. October 18th, they'll be at Shasta. Next home game isn't for a month. October 25th at home against Santa Rosa. Final 2 games will be at Butte and home for American River. Final score from the Redwood Bowl: Monterey 48, Redwoods 27. For Tyler, back in our Eureka studios, my broadcast partner is always Liam Warner. I am Mitchell Monge saying so long from the Redwood Bowl. Final score is Redwoods drops to 0-5 on the year, 48-27. Thank you for joining us. You've been listening to Redwoods Football on ESPN 107.3 FM.